All right, so this is the end of episode 1 or part 1 or whatever it is. Basically 338 days approximately till Redwood Rally 2026. So this is kind of where we're at. Turbo kit's fully out of the car. Upper intake's off. The Holley's out of it. Majority of the engine bay wiring is removed. I just got to take a few more things off. I'm going to pull the TFI coil out, the battery cables, because I have distribution blocks right here underneath the fender apron, which is what those bolts are for. At the wire tuck in the driver's side fender well that I got to clean up again, because I don't think I have to cut this apron out, but I'm not sure. I know this side I have to fully cut out to get the turbo to fit there. Because it basically sits right over the frame rail, so I'll have to address that. Yeah, fuel system's basically undone. I got the regulator out. I got to order a different style regulator depending on the intake manifold I buy. The spark plug wires were trashed. Basically, when the power steering line blew, it sprayed basically hot oil all over everything and basically melted a lot, or like the rubber coating on a lot of the stuff melted. So like that's the oil filter. You can't really see it too much in the dark. Let's see if I get a light out. That melted pretty good. You can kind of see it there. Basically everything's just covered in oil just from that line blowing. It pretty much emptied the reservoir for the power steering pump. And then just soaking everything else down. So once the motor's out, I'm gonna scrub everything down with Simple Green and pressure wash it clean, just so it's semi clean and ready to go for the Gen 2 small block. Other than that, it's pretty much the progress for today, which is pretty good. I know Adrian's gonna watch this, and just want to point out that John got me right today because got a lot of shit done. The intercooler's all out. One thing I'm still up in the air about, which I need to get the turbo kit in first. I'm going to be most likely doing the Team Z tubular front end. I have it on the coupe, but that was the rock solid Motorsports kit, which actually started the bar from the shock tower. So basically goes from here and a bar to right here. And then there's a bar that goes, I guess, for the frame rail. That was the only kit that was out at the time. Then everybody started doing the bar that basically starts up here and continues on. So I got to figure that out still. Then got the passenger seat out, mainly just to get the Holley harness out. So the HP's unbolted. I definitely have to rewire a good amount of things, but I'm not going to really do too much until I get the dash out, because there's going to be quite a bit of things I'm going to most likely get rid of. But yeah, the whole carpet's got to come out, so I'm going to buy another carpet to put back in. Center console's got to come out, dash has got to come out. This is the headliner, so you see there's some rips, little tiny rips, but if I gotta fix it before I put the cage in, I'm gonna definitely recover it. But the doors, another thing I gotta figure out what I want to do. See if I can get these recovered, and if anything, do that same flannel fabric for like this section, and then the lower pocket section there. Definitely gonna outsource that to someone else to do it. We got a friend of mine that's actually gonna help me do the headliner, so I'll record him doing it because he's done them before, and I'm not trying to fuck that up. So, but yeah, this is where we're at. Motor's basically ready to come out, so maybe tomorrow I'll get it out. Really the only thing that's kind of holding this thing in is just the motor mount nuts, trans mount bolts, and then just the clutch line really. And I think there's a ground cable on the back side of the head. Then the motor will come out. I'll take everything out and start kind of putting everything together, just at least setting it aside for the Gen 2 small block. That guy right there. And this is pretty much all the parts, ouch, that came out. So here's all the turbo kit, the wiring, bunch of miscellaneous stuff, battery tray. So all that's going to be coming out. And this is all kinds of stuff of, this is like this pretty much box right here is all full of parts for the other motor. Same, I think this box, some parts for it, and this all kind of motion parts, the motor mount there, I guess the new adapter motor mounts, the other oil pan. Could this mount, these mounts require the 302-3 pan, which is, I believe, the shortest one that Holley sells. This is actually the 302-2, and I believe it's like this section right here is flat, I believe is what it is, or something like that. So I'm actually going to compare the two to see what the actual difference is, just out of curiosity at this point. But yeah, the intake's right here. I have the motion valve covers, motion valley plate, the motion valve cover mounts that bolt to it, and then pretty much everything else is just going to get taken apart. I'll probably paint this thing gold or something. I don't know. So I guess tell me what you guys think in the comments. What color I should paint the block. It's gonna get an engine diaper, so shit, I can paint it pink for all I care really at this point, because the engine diaper is gonna go on it, so it's gonna be pretty much hidden. But yeah, this is kind of where we're at. Definitely good progress for day one to get this thing disassembled. And then I think I got like 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks to get this thing basically torn apart and at least get the headliner back in, and then get it up to Eureka to get done. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, give a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Any comments, good comments. But yeah, this is where we're at, and kind of really excited to get this thing back up and running, to see what it does, because obviously the best pass we're able to do was a 1230 at like 111. I think it was my highest ET. So anything faster than that, it's going to be an improvement. So hopefully with some little testing and tuning, we can get this thing into the like high nines. Goal really for this new combo is to go 899 in the quarter. That's pretty much the goal. I don't know if the TKX is going to survive. I'm definitely going to look into the slipper solenoids for the clutch. I believe it's the Billy clutch slipper or something like that. I forgot what the actual name of the product is, but they sell one that basically, I believe it's pulsating a solenoid for the hydraulic fluid to the clutch, so it basically releases the clutch slower, so you're not shocking the transmission. But at the same time, I know the TKX doesn't have the greatest torque capacity, which when I first put this car together, I wasn't planning any of this, and honestly wish I would have gone to a 256 Magnum right out of the gate. But like I said in the beginning, really wasn't doing this, or wasn't building a car to do drag and drive, and here we are. So I don't know why I am the way I am, but here we are. Let's see what the TKX can hold. So definitely anything I can do to make it live better or live longer is going to be a plus. I am going to do an RST twin disc, which actually I need to order and get that coming, because it kind of would be nice to get the motor and transmission back in the car, or get the new motor and trans back in the car, so then I only have to do the intake and then do the turbo kit when it shows up. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's going to be a McLeod twin disc RST clutch, and I think that limits like 800 horsepower or so. So I'll probably be somewhere, hopefully I can make 600-700 horsepower with this. Not looking for nothing too crazy. Car will be an E85. And I'm trying to think what else. And then the main upgrade is the Huron Speed turbo kit, which I already showed you the turbo over there. So I already put the deposit for that, so that should be coming hopefully in the next I don't know, 3 weeks, so a month or so. They're built to order, so probably another like week or two I'll reach out to them. But yeah, there's not much information on those kits, but the few people I did find that run them do like them over the On3 kit. I'm mainly doing this kit because I had to do plugs on the side of the road, and the On3 kit is similar to the small block Ford On3 kit, where the downpipe goes straight over the passenger side spark plugs. So the Huron kit basically puts the turbo right here, inlet is facing the fender, and then the exhaust faces the driver's side, and then basically makes a big U-turn and goes underneath. And it's a 5-inch downpipe that necks down a 4-inch, goes out, down, and then kicks over to the fender well, and then it basically exits, which I'm gonna have to cut this bumper. Some more exits like right over there somewhere. Basically per request from a buddy of mine, Fastlane Motorsports, the green Percharge Malibu. I'm probably going to see if I can get someone to make me a Zoomy collector, because he loves Zoomies. So for a tribute for him, I'm going to see if I can get someone to make me basically a downpipe collector that goes from a single 4-inch into like a Zoomie, which is 4 individual cylinders, kind of like the big blower cars do. A lot of the pro mods have them, so I'm going to see if I can get something like that. Potentially, I'm not sure yet, so I'm not really sure what I want to do. If it's just be a big single, 4-inch exit, Zoomies, or just let it dump underneath the car and let it go that way. I'm probably going to let it exit out the fender just to get the heat out of this thing, because even with the small block Ford, the hot would get extremely hot. The hood would get extremely hot because there's so much heat underneath or so much heat in the engine bay. I'm just trying to get it out, so... but yeah, we'll see what happens. Definitely excited. Holidays are coming, so that's probably going to slow a few things down, but main goal is try to get it done by the end of January. Worst case, February, to get it started and driving, get it out testing. Basically by February, I guess you could say, and then try to make it to a LS Fest in Vegas, which is usually, I think, end of April. That's the main goal. And then keep basically testing and tuning it, driving it, and get it ready for June for the Olympic Street Car Rally, or Olympic Street Car Shootout at the end of June in Washington, and then make it for Redwood Rally 2026. So definitely excited. Let's see what happens. And then actually got some stickers made, which I'll probably make a comment post or whatever. I had some stickers made for the car. I'm waiting for Adrian to figure out what he's doing for his wheels, so I can get some stickers for his truck made with a little the YouTube channel handle on the bottom, so at 2 Gun Motorsports. So I'll have one for the coupe, or one for the hatch, one for the truck, and then I'll probably do one for the Gringo, which is the 79 Malibu that me and a buddy of mine had, that we raced pretty competitively in the small tire no time classes a few years back. So kind of a little tribute sticker for that car. Then also I'm actually getting some shirts made. It was I guess he was recommended and referenced or referred by Lane, Fastlane Motorsports, the guy that made his shirts. He's making some shirts for the hatch, so I sent him a bunch of pictures, and hopefully he gets them done by Christmas. And I think we're like 160 or so subscribers. So hopefully I get the shirts and get the stickers all figured out by then. And maybe I'd say we hit 250 subscribers, I could do a little, maybe, I think if I can figure out how to figure out who our 250th subscriber is, I'll send you a shirt, $50 gift card to Summit, some stickers, a little kind of a swag pack, as a thank you for following and joining. And then once I get the shirts and all that stuff, I'll probably do a little store so you guys can buy some stuff, help keep these builds rolling, because this stuff definitely is getting expensive. But plans are next year, Olympic Street Car Shootout, Redwood Rally, and then do a bunch of like little small testing and random events here in California. Probably go up to Redding, go to Mendota, maybe go down to LA to see what they have, or I guess Bakersfield, probably like Red List or something. And then in 2 years, so not next year but the following year, maybe try to get into Rocky Mountain Race Week, or I know I can probably get into Big Sky Race Week, which is up in Montana, I believe. I could probably get into that pretty easily, or easier than Rocky Mountain Race Week, which sells out pretty quickly, as well as Sick Week. But definitely goal and bucket list is to do Sick Week out in Florida, and be competitive in the stick shift class over there. So definitely got to get the car, get it faster so I can be competitive. I know the guys that run that class are, I believe, the high 8s, mid 8s, something like that is what those cars run in the quarter. There's a couple guys that I follow. I think it's Bob Racing. He's got an SM95 427 small block Ford. I think it's a 9.5 deck, I think is what it is, with the 427. It's 427 with a Pro Charger. He seems to win a lot of those events, so I definitely got my work cut out with me with a little 5.3. But we'll see what we can do. Don't really need a win, but definitely just would like to be competitive and have fun, because at the end of the day, as weird as it sounds for people that don't understand the drag and drive and why I am the way I am, this is fun. This is like vacation for me to go to an event. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned. Just a quick little episode update of the rebuild process. Had to get myself right, and I got the TKX by myself out. Adrian is MIA, went out one time and disappeared. So got the TKX out. This is, I believe it's a I forget what the first gear is. I think it's a 2.83 or 86, something like that, or 2.76. I don't think it says on here, but MGW shifter. Yeah, originally I figured the TKX was going to be good, so I can just cruise this thing around, but obviously things change, and I am the way I am, and we're drag racing again. So got the TKX out. Motor, after thinking about it, is just going to stay in here, because that's going to be going to Dennis at Ellsworth Performance, part of the trade for the cage. So that's going to stay in there. Still got to get the bell housing out and the throwout bearing. So that's still in here. Clutch is still in there. Clutch will probably go, because I believe he has a 256 that is he's going to use for this motor for his son. So this clutch, after doing some reading, the clutch for a TKX and a T56, if it's the 26 spline by 1.125 shifter boot, but if it's the 26 spline by 1.125 input shaft, the TKX and the T56 use the same clutch. So this is coming out, or well, the bell housing is coming out, so I can keep it with the TKX if I ever need it for whatever reason. And then I'll be ordering a new clutch for the Gen 2. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I'm fat too. Yeah, so I'll be ordering a similar clutch. This is a McLeod, whatever it is. I know someone had put in the comments for a previous video of how you pronounce it, but it's a McLeod clutch. And then it says, I think it's Tilton or something like that. Throwout bearing, I forget what brand this thing is. Oh, it's a Hydromax. Yeah, so throwout bearing. And then I gotta figure out the math on that for the spacers, because I had to space this thing out. I forgot exactly how you're supposed to do it, but it's like from the face of the, bell housing to the teeth or the fingers of the clutch or pressure plate. You do that measurement minus the distance from the face of the transmission to, I think, the face of the throw bearing when it's on there. I forgot. And then it's got to be within like 0.140 to, I think, 0.160 or something like that. You kind of like do the math and then subtract it from each other. But yeah, got that pretty much done. And then just kind of like tying up the wiring so it's not hanging everywhere. Pull the engine diaper off, pull all the grounds off, any power cable. So when Dennis gets it, he basically just has to undo the 2 motor mount nuts, and then it will come right out, because that'll be part of the payment for him. So that's pretty much that. Just kind of super dirty under here. Everything's got oil everywhere. It's everywhere. You can insert the what is it, the little gif from I think Daddy Daycare, where Eddie Murphy goes into the bathroom and the kid just like pooped everywhere. That's pretty much how I feel with the car. But transmission's out, motor's basically ready to go. You can see I was talking about it in another video, but yeah, the hot oil really kind of like almost melted the or the hot oil from the power steering kind of melted the oil filter coating. But yeah, technically the only thing right now that's holding this thing in is literally just the 2 motor mount nuts. Everything else is pretty much unbolted. And this thing's pretty much ready to get pulled out. But I'm gonna leave it in here just because it's easier to deal with. Once Dennis gets the car, they can pull the motor out easily. And then I believe they're gonna freshen this thing up because it leaks every which way. I believe the rear main seal's leaking, and there's other places that's leaking that I don't even know where it's leaking, but it's leaking. So this will all be off to its new home, and then the Gen 2 small block will be getting freshened up. Ouch. And then getting put together. Here's a cool little promo thing. The box blade. If you have to cut apart a lot of boxes, like we always have Amazon coming like every day basically here. So I got tons of boxes I got to shred up. This actually is a lifesaver. Instead of using a knife to cut through the box, this has a little oscillating blade and basically cuts through the boxes like butter. It's rechargeable. The blades are replaceable. When you buy it, it comes with a couple blades. I believe it's about like $100 or so on Amazon, but definitely something if you have a bunch of boxes you get all the time, which like we do, mainly it's me. That thing's a lifesaver. And then yeah, here's the TKX. These are the spacers I was kind of talking about. So to get the right measurement, I had to add in, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spacers. And then this is the retainer ring, which I need to buy a new one because actually I'm curious if I gotta buy a new GM one, because this one says Ford specifically. So you can see the part number there. Yeah, so I'll probably have to call Tick Performance or Hanlon, I think Hanlon Motorsports, and see what I need to get. Because I kind of figured out I need to get, there's I think QuickTime and Lakewood have bell housings for this, for the LS, and then I'm assuming the RST clutch is what I need. I just got to double check with them to make sure there's nothing else that I might need for this thing. I have a Stifler's cross member with the Stifler's drive shaft safety loop already bolted on. So that's on here. Cross members over there. But yeah, this quick little another episode of the rebuild, because this thing's, after this, it's really just a few odds and ends I gotta clean up and then start pulling the interior out, which is gonna be the seats, carpet, dash, center console, and then the headliner, which I'm getting the headliner recovered, which I thought the fabric was going to show up Sunday, but I guess it's still in transit because it's coming from Turkey. the country, but back in the Middle East. So still gotta wait for that. Then this thing's pretty much ready to go. Plan is to take the car up to Dennis, I believe the 8th, I think is what it was. It's the weekend right after Halloween. That Saturday we're gonna go up there. So a little bit of a drive, but it's hard to find reliable people that can weld and do some fabrication, especially around here. So it's worth the drive, helps them out. They can go racing, I can get back to racing, and then I can get this thing back on the road hopefully pretty soon. Like I said, main goal is to get it basically done by January and get up and running by January, start driving it around, testing it, and then get it ready for a few events and probably take it to Mendota for some more testing or go up to Reading and figure this out. So that's pretty much it. Quick little update. All right. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment, thumbs up, thumbs down, anything. I opened up the YouTube community stuff actually this morning. So I'll probably post in there every so often. Still waiting on the t-shirt design, but I have the stickers on there so you guys can see them. So anybody interested, shoot me a message. I'll send you one. So we're getting there slowly but surely.